So for this video, I'm going to talk about trying out the different redundancy methods. And in the other video, I did it for virtual machines where you have LRS, GRS, all of them. But for this one, I'm going to do a storage account. So I'm going to create a storage account. Newest storage. And let me change it to I'll do GRS, I'll leave it as that. And make read access to data available in the event. So basically this is RA-GRS by having checked. Not checked, it's just regular GRS. So I'll do RA. And let's create it. I'll come back when it's ready. Alright, it's ready. So I'm going to create a new container. And I'm going to go into upload a file. Okay, let's go back to our storage account. So go to overview, and here you can see that we have read access, geo redundant storage. So I talk about it in a different video, just called availability zones. I think I talked about it for VMs, but it's the same here. There's LRS, locally redundant storage, which just means you have 3 copies of your data in one data center. So if you have a data center failure or something, that's not good. But Azure automatically creates at least 3 in one data center. So then, if you want to make sure that you're protected against a data center failure, then you do the next step above, which is zone redundant storage, ZRS. So then it has 2 data centers. Your data is replicated on both of them. But if that region is messed up, something bad happens, like a tornado or something big that affects the whole region, that's not going to protect you enough. So then you do geo, which is how you remember that this protects the region, because it makes you think of like an area. So GRS will protect against like a zone failure, a whole region failure. And then there's different kinds of geo. There's read access, geo RS is this one. So you could tell that's GRS and everything because look, we have 2 locations. We have primaries in east region and then secondaries west. So if something bad happens on the east coast, you still have your data replicated on the west of the United States and that region. So you should be fine if something happens bad there. So let's go look at geo replication. So on the left, you'll see the blade for geo replication. And you can see our 2 endpoints. Here's our primary, here's our secondary. And you can prepare for failover if you want to. So it copies your data, so it's protected from hardware failures, network, or power outages, natural disasters, all of it. If an outage renders a primary endpoint unavailable, then you can initiate failover to secondary endpoint to rapidly restore write access to your data. So all it means is that if something bad happens here and you prepare for it and everything, then your west US becomes your primary region for your data. So anyway, let's see that we have access to it from our primary location. So I guess just go to your container, go to data, go to it and copy it, and it says okay, we don't have it, blah blah blah, because we got to change access level here from private to blob access, and then change to refresh. Okay, not it. Successfully changed. There we go. Here it is. Alright, it just took a couple seconds. So we see that, we access it from the East US region. Now let's see how to access it from our secondary location, the West US. Well, all you do is you just append secondary after the name of it, but before blob. So just put hyphen secondary and then it's .blob. And here it is. We're accessing it from the West US region, our secondary location. And the reason why we can access it is because if we go to the overview, we see it's read access. So we're able to read access from both locations, primary and secondary, for GRS. So it is just one of the replication options for storage accounts, one of the availabilities, not availability zones, but just replication. I keep calling it availability zone, but it's not, because that's a little bit different. So yeah, I'll figure out what the title of this video.